Hey you guys. Hey everyone. Welcome back to my channel. What's today? Wednesday maybe? Is it Wednesday or Thursday? Hope everyone is having a great day. We're going to be talking about missing 11-year-old Madalina Cojocari. We started talking about her yesterday, and today a letter was released by the FBI, a letter from her family members basically pleading for help in finding her and also kind of giving an insight a little bit into Madalina. So we're going to go over that, which is kind of confusing because you're like, wait, her family wrote a letter? Her mom was arrested. So who wrote this letter, right? Let's go ahead and let's get into it, you guys. I hope everybody is having a great day. You guys can clearly see me because you're like, it's Thursday, it's Thursday. Y'all, it's been so crazy here with trying to get ready for Christmas that I don't know what day of the week that it is. But I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. We are getting ready for the cold front to come through. We're not using the cold front, you guys. All right. No notification. Notification did come out. Good. Hey, Hey, how you doing? Everybody got the notification? All right, so the FBI has released this letter from my understanding, but it is a letter from the family of missing Madalina Cojocari. Let's get into it. So the family of missing 11-year-old Madalina Cojocari penned a handwritten note asking for the community support as the desperate search continues into today in North Carolina looking for Madalina. Investigators shared the family's personal handwritten message on social media and asked that the public read it and put yourself in their shoes as the search for Madalina enters into the second week. Let's go ahead and let's read this note together. Let's see. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to bring it up so you guys can also see this letter. Is everybody ready for Christmas? We have gotten all of our Christmas shopping done except my mother's gift. We just got to get my mother's gift and we'll be done. Okay, so let's look at this letter together. Okay, so it seems that it was written today. It says, we as a family are devastated and absolutely heartbroken to learn that Madalina is missing. We love Madalina and are shocked by these circumstances. This is something no child or family should ever have to endure. Our family is doing everything we know to do to support the efforts to find Madalina and bring her home. We are and continue to have hope and positivity in this difficult time and pray that she is found safe very soon. We know and greatly appreciate that the local, state, national, and online communities have came together to share flyers and other share flyers. Make sure this says flyers. I think it says flyers to share flyers and offer positive support, hold prayer vigils, support law enforcement, and are doing everything possible to find and bring Madalina home safely. We are also appreciative of all the efforts, endless hours. Madalina is a beautiful, smart, kind, and loving 11-year-old with greatness in her future. We are desperate to find her right now. She needs all of our help. We ask for your continued positive support in sharing for and why the posters and pictures of Madalina sharing for. Each and every share may be one step closer to finding her. If you believe you have seen Madalina or have any information related to her whereabouts, please contact your local law enforcement agency or the Cornelius NC Police Department. Come forward with this information. Anything may help. Our family would like to express sincere gratitude to each and every one of you for your support. Our family will continue to do everything we know to do for Madalina's safe return home. Blessings. Y'all, this is so close to Christmas time. You know, most families should be, doing their last minute Christmas shopping, making their last minute plans. That's what most families are doing right now, and this family is wondering where their 11-year-old loved one is. Madalina is a sixth grader who was last seen in her home, who was last seen, by her mother, allegedly, in her home in Cornelius, NC, on the evening of November 23rd. But the Cornelius Police Department said that the girl's mother, Madalina Cojocari, did not report her missing until December 15th. Police immediately requested the assistance of the FBI and began a search for Madalina. So it's unclear which family member wrote this letter. Local news outlets reported that Diana Cojocari told investigators that she is from Moldova and said she had no family in the U.S. So I don't know if this letter comes from, Moldova or where it comes from. Court records show that Cojocari contacted family in Moldova about Madalina's disappearance and was advised by them to contact law enforcement, which she never did. So she did reach out to her family in Moldova and told them that her daughter was missing. They said, listen, you need to contact the police. She did not. On Saturday, Cornelius Police Department arrested Madalina's mother and her stepfather, Christopher Palmiter, for failing to report the disappearance of a child. Cojocari reported her daughter missing, but it was 3 weeks after she disappeared, and it was only due to the school showing up at their house and demanding a meeting with mother and Madalina. Following reports that court documents revealed Cojocari told investigators that she believed that Palmiter, her boyfriend, or her husband, mother's husband, Madalina's stepfather, would put the family in danger if she reported Madalina missing. Local news outlets reported that investigators were seen at the family's home, leaving with at least one box of apparent evidence. The FBI Charlotte's office said earlier this week that investigators increased the scope of their search to include Lake Cornelius as part of the normal investigative process to find Madalina. On Tuesday, investigators released video showing Madalina walking off the school bus just before 5 p.m. on November 21st, her last recorded location before she disappeared 2 days later. So authorities asked anyone with information about Madalina or her whereabouts to call the Cornelius Police Department. Also, due to the fact that, so on the night that she was last seen allegedly by her mom and her husband, Christopher, got into some sort of argument. Madalina reportedly went to her bedroom. This was on the night of 22nd. She went to her bedroom. Madalina's mother says that she did not check in on her until the 24th. She finally went into her room to check on Madalina and realized that she was not there. She then wondered if maybe her husband, Christopher, had taken Madalina with him to travel out of state to Michigan. He actually was leaving North Carolina to travel to Michigan due to this argument that they got into to go check on some things. I don't know how far. Let's see. Cornelius, North Carolina to Michigan. I don't know what part of Michigan, but let's just see a roundabout. How far that would be. Let's see. Okay, how far is Cornelius from Michigan City? Non-stop drive. It is 678 miles. So driving time would be almost 12 hours. That's if like you just drive. Almost 12 hours on the night that he and Diana got into an argument. He leaves to drive to Michigan to check on some things. He's gone for a couple of days. Mom realizes on the 24th that Madalina hasn't come out of her room, goes in the room, Madalina's not there. Rather than reaching out to her husband to say, did you bring Madalina with you? She waits till her husband gets back and says, so you didn't bring Madalina with you? And he goes, no. Where is she? Mother's like, I don't know. And they just go on about their day. I even saw where someone had posted that Christopher was like posting on Facebook, like not a big deal. he was making, normal Facebook posts, just going on about his life. And like I said, the only reason that she was even reported was due to her school. Her school stepped in after she was absent for about 12 days. They showed up at the home. A school resource office and counselor showed up at the home. They did not get an answer at the door, so they left a truancy packet as well as a note saying, we need to get a meeting with you and Madalina as soon as possible because she's been missing for, she hasn't been to school in over 10 days. So Madalina's mother, Diana, reached out to the school and said, okay, let's have a meeting on December 15th. She went into the school for a meeting and did not bring Madalina with her. And that's when she told the school resource office, my daughter's been missing. I haven't seen her since November 22nd. The school then reached out to their local police department. Both parents, the mother and stepfather, were arrested on December 17th and charged with a felony charge of failure to report a child missing to law enforcement. So let's see. And this was posted yesterday. There's an account that I follow on Twitter called Legacy. Legacy actually posted this. This is the home, the second floor of the home, the top floor of the home, where when investigators were there, they were actually taking photos on the second floor of the home. If you guys could see that, investigators were there taking photos, which makes me believe they've uncovered some sort of evidence in the top floor. I don't know where Madalina's room would be. She was the only child, from my understanding. She did not have siblings. Also, when law enforcement showed up at the house, there was this, in the kitchen, there were plywood boards, like closing off a section of the kitchen. And law enforcement asked the stepdad, like, what is this? And he said, oh, well, we're building a separate apartment, which makes no sense. This was a beautiful 2-story, like 4-bedroom, I think it was 4-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 3-bath home, over 2,000 square foot. She was the only child. There was no reason for them to need to make a separate apartment. So they're taking pictures of the top floor, which makes me believe they are taking photos of some sort of evidence, right? Let's see where we're at. Okay, wow. Okay, this just came out 1 minute ago. This just came out. Okay. Family of missing Madalina Cojocari lit a fire, torching couch cushions and other items in their backyard in the days after the North Carolina girl vanished, but 2 weeks before they reported her missing. This just came out. 4 minutes ago. 4 minutes ago. The family of 11-year-old Madalina Cojocari was seen lighting a fire and torching couch cushions and other items that burned for days in their backyard in the days after Madalina allegedly disappeared, but weeks before she was reported missing. Neighbors recall seeing flames and smoke billowing from the yard of the Victoria Bay Drive home in late November, prompting calls to the police and the fire department in Cornelius. Cornelius Fire Chief Gary Barbie acknowledged the blaze but refused to discuss any specifics. Fire chief said, I cannot speak of that now because of this investigation. Police later searched the property for evidence, joined by FBI agents scouring the yard for debris. A neighbor saw investigators searching the home earlier this week, said that they spent hours outside. They took all kinds of samples from the fire pit. I guess they were trying to figure out if they burned anything of substance there. It's a gross feeling knowing that something like that happened in your neighborhood. It's very suspicious that the mother didn't report the girl missing for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Another neighbor said that the fire wasn't such a big deal at the time because nobody knew that the girl was missing. The neighbor went on to say, if you don't know the context that the girl is missing, it's kind of nothing. At the time of the call, it was more of a fire safety or a permit type of issue. This just came out, so that's is wild. Okay, so the police were seen taking samples from the fire pit to see if there was anything of substance there. Also, even when the fire happened, the neighbors did call the fire department and the police because they were concerned with the fire, that it would get out of control or something like that. So the police are there looking at the fire pit. This happened around the same time that she went missing. They're going to be able to pinpoint exactly when that fire was due to the calls. But the fact that the police were there taking samples from the fire pit makes me believe that it's going to be pretty close to the time that she went missing. Also, they were there in the top. I'm curious the layout of that house where Madalina's room would be. If it would be downstairs or upstairs, and if it would be in that corner. Because if that's her room they're taking pictures in, makes you wonder if anything happened in that room. Also, the kitchen having like a separate apartment, like they're trying to build a separate apartment, makes me wonder if they were like building some place to like lock her up or something. I don't know. I don't want to speculate into this, but I mean, even the neighbors said like they were burning couch cushions. Who burns couch cushions? You can throw them in the dumpster. You can literally take your couch cushions to the dumpster. So you don't have to burn those. The only reason you would burn those, in my opinion, is if there were evidence on those couch cushions. Some sort of evidence. The mom did not check on Madalina. So Madalina went to her room on the 22nd, the evening of the 22nd. Mom did not check on her until the evening of the 24th. All apologies, you're right. Mom did not check on Madalina until the 24th. The fact that he traveled, they are working with Michigan police as well, due to the fact that he did travel. So they are working with Michigan police. Hopefully they can pinpoint the exact route that he took, because I'm curious if maybe, I don't know. This is just me, and I don't like to speculate or theorize, but I think we are all in our heads trying to make it make sense. Like if they did something, did it happen at the house? They're burning any evidence, and then maybe he took her body and got rid of her somewhere between Cornelius and Michigan. Yeah, 11 years old, and her mom did not check on her for 48 hours. She knew something happened. Who doesn't check on an 11-year-old for 2 days? Right. Exactly. I'm always going to my son, Caden, he's 15. He'll spend a lot of time in his room. He goes to school. Excuse me. He goes to school and he plays football. But like on the weekends, he'll hang out in his room, play his PlayStation, watch, his phone, like Netflix and stuff on his phone. But we eat and he's out there eating with us, like even like I'll stick my head in his door and be like, "What's up, buddy? Doing good?" I'll open my door and he's like sitting there playing his game, and I always give him like a high five. It's like a thing that I do. Open his door and I give him a high five. Like I see my kids many times throughout one day. If I don't see my kid after a couple of like an hour or so, if I'm in the house, I'm like, "Hey, where's so and so?" It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Kids need to eat, shower, and be looked after. Exactly. Did they have a habit of starving her for days? We're not sure right now. We don't really know. It seems like they had no family here in the States. Um, it says here, police investigating the case noted that the kitchen in the family home had an area blocked with plywood. Paul Miter, the husband, said that he had been building a separate apartment. Paul Miter told police he last saw Madalina a week before she disappeared. The last time he saw her was a week before she disappeared. So did he not see her on the night of the 22nd when him and his wife were arguing? Cojocari said that Madalina's backpack and some of her clothes were missing from the home. She told the police that the young girl did not have any friends that she would stay with, and being from Moldova, a former Soviet republic in Eastern Europe, she did not have any family in the area. In Eastern Europe, she did not have any family in the area. Cojocari added that she'd been in touch with her family. In Moldova, they advised her to go to the police. She resisted. It's unclear how long Cojocari and her daughter had been living in the U.S. and when she married Christopher Paul Miter. Both Cojocari and Paul Miter were arrested and charged with failure to report a missing child. The FBI are now leading the search, and a spokesperson said, "There is nothing we won't do to find her." On Tuesday, the FBI worked with Cornelius police to search the nearby lake. Court officials said during Diana Cornelius' first court appearance on Tuesday that Diana had hindered the investigation so far. They said she only begrudgingly reported her daughter's disappearance to the police, despite a number of calls from her school the following weeks. No one was notified that Madalina was missing. On December 14th, so December 12th, school resource officer from Bailey Middle School showed up at the home. Didn't get an answer, so they left the truancy packet. On December 14th, 2 days later, Diana Cojocari called the school counselor and told her that she would bring Madalina to school the next day for a meeting. At that meeting, Cojocari told the resource officers that Madalina had in fact been missing for 2 weeks or for weeks and was last seen entering her room to go to bed around 2 p.m. on November 23rd. These days keep changing, you guys. It was the 22nd, now it's the 23rd. I think in the official report it's the 22nd. Cornelius also told the school officials that she and her husband argued that night, causing him to leave the house to drive to Michigan to check on some things. It was 11:30 a.m. on November 24th when Cojocari said she went to check on Madalina to find that she was no longer in her bedroom. When Paul Miter returned at 7 p.m. on November 26th, Cojocari told police that she asked if he knew where Madalina was, and he told her that he did not. Okay, so the official report is that she last saw her on the 22nd, checked on her the November 24th. So if he left on the 22nd, the timeline has been wonky because she's given different versions of events. I think at one time she said it was the 21st. Her actual statement says 22nd. This one says 23rd. What she told the resource officer was the 23rd. But if he left on the 23rd, it's a 12-hour drive. So he left that night. Say he drove all night. He got there the next morning. It's the 24th. He took one day to collect his belongings. All day of the 24th into the 25th. And then drive home all the night of the 25th. I don't know how he would have enough time for a 12-hour drive, leaving late at night. You would think he would need some time to sleep and time to do whatever he was actually going to do, right? To me, it doesn't seem like he really had time. If he left on the 23rd, the night of the 23rd, and got back the evening of the 26th. That's just 3 days, and it's a 12-hour drive. So there and back is 24 hours. No time for sleep, no time to collect his belongings, or barely little. Yet, so here, when our kid misses school, we get a text message saying, your child so and so is absent today. And it reminds us about truancy. Totally jaded. Why would she wait for him to come home to ask him if he had seen her? No mobile phones. Sure, they probably do have mobile phones. That's just one of the things that doesn't make sense. Is that she didn't ask her husband. She didn't call her husband and say, hey, do you have Madalina? She's not here. Anybody else would do that. But she didn't. Um, but we get a text the day of, and if my kid's missing for like 2 days, they'll email me or call me and say, hey, are they okay? Are they sick? What's happening? And I'll tell them what's going on. I've never had them show up at my house, but that's because I've never ignored their calls either. Nikki, this letter is from Madalina's extended family, basically saying they're heartbroken and they appreciate the public's help. Yeah, their story basically stinks. Nothing that they're saying makes sense. Exactly. I think I'm going to do a pre-recorded video just kind of going over the fire pit stuff as well. That's really crazy. Hey, Cece. Can't believe the school. So the school has a policy. Their school has a policy. More than likely, they were sending those texts out like, "Hey, your daughter's absent. Your daughter is absent." But I think they stepped in at 12 days. They went to the house. They may have called before that. I'm not sure, but they went to the house on the 12th day. Yeah, in my opinion, mom and stepdad know way more than they're telling us. You mean if your child is sick and you're keeping them home, you don't call the school and let them know? Sometimes I do. Like, my son had the flu and then it turned into, if they're just missing a day or two, no. But if they're going to miss more than that, I do call. Um, my son had the flu. On the second day, I called up there and said, hey, my son has the flu. He missed the third day, went back for, so he missed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He went back Thursday and Friday. I called them Tuesday and told them. And then he got worse again, so he missed Monday and Tuesday of this last week. And I went there Monday. I went Monday. Yes, Sparkcraft said I unenrolled my son to homeschool, and the principal and vice principal showed up to my house a week later to check on him and to make sure he was okay. But the whole fire pit in the backyard, burning couch cushions, that all seems rather strange. Makes you wonder, what do they have to hide? Let's see if there's anything else. I'll probably do a separate pre-recorded video about the fire pit, just so this don't get lost in this, since this one is mainly about the letter. The family says they're desperate to find her. They talk about how she was a bright young girl. It seems like they loved her, and they asked the mom to report her, and they didn't. They were pushed to. But that's where we're at right now, you guys. Seems like her family is all in Moldova. Huh. I'm gonna see what I can find out about her father. But we'll be doing a few more things today. I got to finish up wrapping presents this evening, you guys. Me and Sean went finished Christmas shopping yesterday, and we are so sore from walking. We were like on a boardwalk and we were walking the whole time. I'm like, oh my goodness, we're literally old. But I'm gonna see if I can find any information on the father. I'll probably do a pre-recorded video just about the fire pit, but see what I can find out. Also, Gwen Brown from Sister Wives, she did make a YouTube channel. We're gonna be going over her reaction to one of the episodes. So we got a few things we're gonna do today, you guys. I know a lot of people's busy getting ready for Christmas. So if you have time when you're wrapping your presents, hang out with me as we continue to cover this content. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, I see several new people here. Please consider subscribing to the channel. We cover true crime, a lot of missing persons, like Quentin Simon, Madalina, Athena Strand. We cover, it's mainly centered around young people, which we do cover the Shanquilla Robinson case as well. And then a little bit of like entertainment news. So if you enjoy entertainment news and true crime, I'm definitely the channel for you. So hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you. Give this video a thumbs up and catch me back here probably about 30 minutes or so. And we're going to talk more about Madalina. I'm going to see if I can find any information on her father. Give this video a thumbs up and I'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Bye, everyone.